Does it seem like nearly half of all the content made around financial independence is people saying they've left FIRE and have never been happier? Well, in today's video, I'm going to address some of their top concerns and whether or not I think financial independence retire early is still the best financial plan. Number one, a top complaint I've heard from people that have left the FIRE movement is that the goal of retiring early should not be your motivation. While I somewhat agree that if your goal is just to retire early, sit on some remote beach and sip cocktails all day, that might get old pretty quick. And I say this as knowing myself and knowing a lot of the folks in the FIRE community. We are a hyper-focused, driven group of people who enjoy facing challenges and overcoming obstacles, being creative, and last but not least, pursuing goals. Not all goals have to be financial. For many, early retirement is an opportunity to pursue even more creative work or passion projects that just weren't possible while working their 9 to 5. Others want to serve in their communities and give back in ways that demand a generous time commitment. One of my favorite things about FIRE is that it's a wide spectrum. The community includes high-income professionals like the physician on FIRE, teachers like the millionaire educator. And did you know when I started with FIRE, I had just graduated with an accounting degree and was making about $50,000 a year, pretty close to the national average. No matter what your vision is for FIRE, the important part is the financial independence. It's what buys you the freedom to then choose what you do next. If that's early retirement, awesome. If that's volunteering, incredible. Freedom from being tied down to your 9 to 5 for the sole reason of needing your next paycheck to pay for your car payment or rent, that's what FIRE is trying to escape. Second complaint I've seen about FIRE is related to the stock market volatility. It's always interesting to see how people gravitate towards what's trending. Since the fall of meme stocks, the Wall Street Bets debacle, and the overall market crashing in 2022, FIRE has lost some of its appeal. It's clear from what's trending on YouTube Finance, Reddit, and the overall market sentiment, people have started to lose hope that FIRE can help them achieve their goals of being financially independent. I get it. If you actively watch your stock portfolio, it is difficult to see the balances going down day after day after day. The 4% rule that is so foundational to the FIRE movement is currently under attack by those who would want to dethrone the popularity of FIRE. We all know the stock market has a tendency to go up over time. But did you know that greed and fear really drive the market on a day-to-day basis, while growth and value drive the market over the longer run? Market volatility can be difficult to fathom, much less even understand. Warren Buffett popularized the saying, in the short run, the stock market is like a voting machine, but in the long run, it's a weighing machine. What this really means is that the price of a company's stock on any given day is pretty meaningless. But what really matters are the company's fundamentals. Are they getting better and better over time? What prospects does the company have in the future? The same is true for index fund investing, which is what by far most people in the FIRE community do. By naturally purging underperforming companies and by rewarding high-performing ones, the index value will naturally grow over time. I'm surprised when I see, even in the FIRE forums, the excessive amount of fear from those investing during bear markets. Everyone agrees that investing as much as you can, as often as you can, is the right way to go when the market is only going up year after year. But as soon as there are already bumps in the road, some start running for the hills. I'm here to tell you that recessions and bear markets are what make investors rich. It's not buying after a 10-year bull market, but rather it's the buys you make at a 50% discount that you will look back on in 20 years and say, wow, how was this company ever this cheap? I wish I had bought a lot more. Number 3, third fear that a lot of ex-FIRE people have is how to treat healthcare in early retirement. For most people, the subsidized healthcare they get through their work is absolutely going to be far cheaper than anything they could get on the exchange. I've seen subsidies as high as $2,000 per month. That's what the employer was paying. Believe it or not, this generous subsidy paid by the employer is not guaranteed. I've seen 2 instances now in just my own life where an employer used to pay 100% of my medical premiums. Now the cost is being shared in a more traditional sense. Healthcare is now and will always be a major obstacle in retirement. Medicare exists for those age 65 or older, but it can cost anywhere from $170 up to $500 per month, depending on your taxable income. For early retirees or those self-employed, there are many options available to get reliable coverage for you and your family. The fact is, it will likely cost you more than it would if you were still on your employer's plan. So how do we overcome this obstacle? The answer is really simple. Plan. Financial planning isn't just for traditional retirees. Early retirees also need to come up with a plan on how much their future healthcare expenses are going to cost. It's just like any other expense category. Do some research on what it would cost to buy a plan through your state's exchange and factor that into your FIRE number. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.